That's what I did. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing on the, just better get the mic over here. So. First thing on the agenda is consent agenda, October 25th, 2021 minutes. Approval pay. You coughing? Oh, okay. Approval payment to Crawford, Murphy, and Kelly for engineering service for KDOT. Project number AB 2020-14 in the amount of $3,000. Approval payment to Crawford, Murphy, and Kelly for engineering service for KDOT. Project number AB 2020-13 in the amount of $1,000. Approval payment to Hiawatha Chamber and Business Bureau for quarterly guest tax in the amount of $2,035.31. Approval payment to Moreland Public Library for property tax in the amount of $4,189.30. There's a motion we approve consent agenda is read.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, regular agenda, none, public comment, petition, memorial. I guess request from Marissa LeMay, is that your name?
Yes.
Okay. Regarding recognition for Lena Mae Greer Carpenter, would you come up to the podium?
First of all, my name is Marissa LeMay. I'm a teacher here at Hiawatha Middle School. And please forgive my voice. We're just getting over sickness at my house. But I am Lena Carper is my great aunt. She was born here in Hiawatha, Kansas, and I was hoping to be able to read the proclamation to you today in hopes of getting some recognition for her and what she's done for our town. So. Whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper was born in Hiawatha, Kansas on November 13th, 1920. And whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper attended Hiawatha School in Hiawatha and moved to Topeka in 1939. And whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper worked at the NYA Center in Topeka with the work program of President Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal for Women in 1939. And whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper attended the College Avenue Seventh-day Adventist Church until 1963 and was instrumental in forming the Church of God Seventh-day Adventist Church in Topeka. And whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper made a significant impact as a global citizen and humanitarian. And whereas Lena Mae Greer Carper married Dorsey L. Carper on May 8th, 1940, and they had a daughter, Catherine L. Sawyer, on whose behalf Lena Mae Greer Carper was one of the original plaintiffs of Brown versus Board of Education, Topeka, to end segregation. And now therefore be it resolved that I,
William Collins, Mayor, proclaimed November 13th, 2021, Lena Mae Greer Carpenter Day in Hiawatha, Kansas. Encourage all citizens to follow in many examples set by Lena Mae Greer Carpenter. Signed this day, William Collins. Thank you.
thank you.
You got something else?
The only other thing that I was going to mention was we have some recognition for John McClendon around town with signs. And that's also something that I'm looking forward to try and get kids involved to help with as well. So I'm hoping to get some signs and recognition put out for Lena as well.
Do you have signs, you say?
I don't have them. I'm in the process.
Oh, that's it.
I've talked to Kevin Hill. I've talked to Tim Abeda at the middle school, and we're hoping to get kids involved to help get those things recognized. So
Sounds good. Appreciate you coming in.
thank you for having me. I
You
appreciate
bet.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next thing, consider approval license to sell several malt beverage for 2020 for Casey's number 2153. Is there a motion we approve the license to sell several malt beverages for 2021 for Casey's 2053 located at 406 South First Street and authorize the necessary signatures?
So I will make that motion except for you actually said 2021 instead of 2022. So
Okay.
with that change, I will make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Brian, you with us?
I'm here.
All right, just want to check, see if you're with us. All right. Next thing is consider approval license selling cereal malt beverage for 2022 for Casey's 2957. License to sell malt beverage at 2022 Casey's 2957 located at 915 South First Street and authorizing the necessary signatures. Is there any motion we approve license number 2957?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I guess you're not opposed, Brian.
No.
I didn't hear you, so whatever. Next thing is consider approval of client authorization addendum for implementing a regulatory F to authorize CBK Inc. to send a statement on the city behalf to attempt to collect the debt. I'll let T. Sheep, why don't you come up and explain this?
The state is changing some of the rules for collection agencies, so now they have to send out a letter, which is basically a statement first to the people that they're trying to collect the debt from. So this addendum just says that they're going to send out the statement on our behalf.
So I make a motion to approve the client authorization addendum for implementation of Regulation F to authorize CBK Inc. to send a statement on the city's behalf to attempt to collect the debt and authorize the necessary signatures.
Motion been made, is a second.
I'll second it.
Motion been seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing is consider comparison of fuel costs. Mike went through them and come in, and it was kind of a no-brainer. The county was quite a bit less than any other bid we had, probably in the area of what, 6,000?
Projected through the end of the year, projected savings, $7,882.47.
I guess that said, I guess we don't have any other options. I guess you just want to handle that one-on-one, Mike, or you want the bid process or
I guess this
donation.
would be the time to talk about, what I brought up at the last meeting, the county's request to contribute, not a specific amount, just if we'd be willing to contribute towards the replacement of the fuel computer system.
Okay, let's handle this one-on-one. We'll just go ahead and approve having the county do it. Go ahead with her. Well, I guess we'll just go with a comparison, Mike. That's what.
Yeah, we already have the agreement in place with the county. This was just showing what that's providing us versus what it'd be with the others. So there's really, unless the commission wants to get away from using county fuel farm. There's no action on the memo. The only discussion would be the question of contributing towards the computer system for the county's fuel farm.
Why don't we just go ahead? I think the indication, why don't we just offer them a couple $1,000 and then they can come back with a counter offer. It's not satisfactory.
I mean, did you have an amount in mind?
I didn't. At the meeting last week, I had done an example of 2,000, how I'd split it out. So that was the hard part. They didn't really, it did say not asking for half, just some sort of contribution. So I plucked the 2,000 out of my.
Well, that's
Out of
an
the air.
attempt, so I guess,
Yeah, I don't know.
and if they want to, I mean, we can always go back later, but I mean, it's a number to go out with, so,
Start with that.
yeah.
It's
You want a motion, Mike?
on this. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt.
Is there a motion?
Be, what would it be to offer to cover 2,000 of the upgrade expense for the county's fuel farm computer system?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other comment? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider an award of a janitorial service bid. Yes, you got all the numbers, Tish.
We opened, last Thursday, we opened the single bid that we've received for the cleaning for the city hall and police department. Essentially clean. She bid 4 hours for city hall and 3.5 hours for a total of 160 per week for city hall and 140 per week for the law enforcement center, and a $35 facility fee. So yearly or monthly, weekly, it'll be $335 for cleaning both buildings.
So this is 4 hours total a week or 4 hours a day?
4 hours total a week.
4 hours city hall.
4 hours for city hall. Right.
Yeah.
There's 2 people and it's a total of $20 a person,
Okay.
20 an hour.
Well, I guess I'd entertain a motion to take the low bid or an only bid. Is there a motion? We take the bid.
I'll make a motion to approve awarding the bid for City Hall and Law Enforcement Center janitorial services to essentially clean at a cost of $335 a week.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing is the executive session for attorney-client relationship.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I was just gonna read my whole paragraph.
What's that?
I was just gonna read the whole paragraph. She always makes me.
You can
Okay.
read it. You can
So
read it.
I will make a motion that the city commission recess into executive session in the conference room for a period of 10 minutes to discuss matters of potential litigation. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship. The open meeting will resume at
6:01.
6:01.
You already passed.
In this commission chambers and to include the city commission, attorney, and administrator.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. We'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
I used to live in that house. When we were kids. Get money out there. Treasures.
I just say, what do I say? We have to go back for 2 more minutes. So what motion?
Just make the motion to.
Come back in and then go back out?
Well, yeah, to go.
Motion would come in.
Second.
We'll go back out for another 10.
Okay. So you'll be back in at 6:13,
So forth.
6:14.
Something like that. Whatever you tell us to.
Okay, 6:14.
7 o'clock, right?
No,
Roll.
No. We have a game.
we have a. Who made the motion?
Build it.
I did.
I second it, so come back in.
To come back in, now to go
Yes.
out for 10 more.
And
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just
All opposed?
make it look.
Go for it.
Okay, at 6:14, the commission is called back into an open meeting. The commission took no binding action during executive session.
Second. Second, go ahead, Tish, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, Stacy, do you have anything?
I'll just give a quick recap of the last week. We were pretty busy with the last of our Halloween events. On Tuesday and Thursday, we held our first indoor haunted house from 7:30 to 10 p.m. each night. On Tuesday, we had 117 people through, which I was pleased with. And on Thursday, we had 318 people through. So for a total of 435 people for the week. I had 25 haunters. They were all repeat haunters that have worked with us in the past. Tish and Jenny sold tickets for us. And then Chris Diller was my MVP as usual, helping with just designing the haunted house and helping get all the props set up. So it was a very, very successful event. Both because of participation and money, but also it was the first time that I was able to haunt as well. And I will consider it a success because Brad Scott's son, Caden, punched me. So I'll take it. I think he punched my husband as well. So we'll consider that success. Saturday morning, we held our pumpkin relays. We had 4 teams, so 16 runners with that. That was really fun. And then yesterday we had trunk or treat from 3 to 5 p.m. We saw 160 kids through that. And then last night we had Witches Night Out with the chamber, and there were over 40 that attended that. So a really solid week, a really solid month, very busy month. But it's our favorite month of the year. But hello, November. I welcome you with open arms. So it was a good month.
You must have done a lot of screaming over
I
there.
did.
Well, I'm just checking on you.
Yeah, I'm a little sick, but mostly it's from
Yeah, well, it'll be a little easier on you then.
Thanks for all your efforts.
Dave Wilson? You have anything? Okay. Nick? Okay. Gene? Okay. Brad, I don't think he's here, is he?
No, he had something tonight, but he asked me to pass along that KRWA was up here today doing checking for the leak at 9th and Miami. And they didn't find a leak. In fact, Brad said, the guy said he's not going to say 100%, but 99% sure that it's not a leak in our water main or a valve or anything. It looks like it's groundwater that's coming up there. So we're gonna talk to our engineer about, would it be possible to, and I'm just throwing it out, but basically bore or core a 6-inch hole, place a sleeve with a drain just to relieve. I mean, if it's groundwater, and give it somewhere to go instead of in between the joints.
Are you on Miami?
Yeah, 9th and Miami.
That's where that water's oozing out of the ground.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wonder what the quality of the material underneath of it is.
Good. Now that's one of the sections where it was really wet when they tore up the old street, and we had to put a lot of the large rock in there.
Okay.
To get that base. But even before the streets project, water would come out of the side, kind of the side, the bank, There on that northeast corner. It went away for a long time, but, or I say for a long time, for a
Yeah,
couple of
it's
years,
been
but
running
now
for
it's
quite a while.
found its way back.
Do you have anything else?
Mm,
Brad?
Not for Brad.
Okay. Dave?
Nothing that I think.
Okay. John?
I have nothing, thank you.
Tish?
No, nothing.
Andy?
Not tonight.
Mike?
Just one other thing. I talked to Fulbright Signs this afternoon about the John McClendon Jr. signs. She is sending me two prices. One, the signs that we have now were made just 10 millimeter aluma something. It was an aluminum, but it's out of stock. Very hard to get right now, and the shipping is very costly. She's talking to her boss about the possibility of using 6 millimeter, but she's going to send me a price for both. I couldn't remember if there's bracing behind the signs.
We added brakes and keep the blocks together.
Yeah, and that was her thought is, if there's bracing, that's great. If not, it might need some bracing, but she's going to talk to her boss and check on it. But I just want to let you all know where we're at on that. That's all I have.
Okay, I don't have anything. Dave? Or
Tomorrow's election day, so everybody get out and vote. So.
Brian?
I'm all good today.
Yep. Okay. All right. Evans?
I have nothing.
Becky?
Nothing for me.
There's a motion, we adjourn and go into a work session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the regular meeting and enter into the ARPA work session. I'll second it.
Motion been made and second. Any other comments? No comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
Is it on here too? I've got it on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it.
All right, well, as the memo stated, originally the city was awarded $473,021.20. However, funds originally allocated to cities that elected not to use said funds has been dispersed proportionally to us cities that have elected to use the funds. So as a result, our amount went up to $475,835.34, split in half over the next 2 years. We received our original first half this summer. I don't know if we received the adjustment yet, but it'll be coming very soon for the second part of our first half, that small adjustment. And then next year we'll receive the second half. So I don't know if you all want me to step through kind of the eligible uses, or kind of step right to.
Well, I'll give you my opinion. If you want my opinion, you're gonna get it anyway, so whatever. I think I've been looking at this and on this engineering reimbursement deal, and which was $128,543, which we had that reimbursement for engineers that could go right into the SERV fund, which would relax some funds for Dave and give him some workable money. And then he's got this Layton lift station generator upgrade that I don't know, uses escalated numbers or not, but you got somewhere around $79,851. And the most critical, on my opinion, is the Fisher Center air conditioning. at $30,000, which that might be just a little bit high, but that's critical and that's a one-shot deal. And once we're done with it, it's done. And some of the other stuff, I think actually, as far as websites and stuff like that, I think we can budget that in the 2023 budget. But I'm just looking for infrastructure right at the moment. That's where I'm at. So you got my 2 cents. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Does anybody went through and researched?
Proceed, or if there's questions
You
or,
want to go through all the departments and just give a highlight of their requests?
yeah, I'd be happy to. So, as you know, I asked department heads to submit, requests and prioritize them. Starting with the sewer department, engineering reimbursement. This is for the flow study that's been done that took a year longer than we thought it would take. Layton's lift station generator upgrade, $79,851. The ultraviolet system upgrade, $130,000. That's for a half bank or one of the banks. We have 2 banks. That's for both, 130. Okay. Replace the second pump at Layton's lift station. If you'll remember the first pump, we're close. They're still waiting on parts to get to them, a valve. But the first pump is being replaced. And then upgrade the grit removal system at both north and south headworks, $148,000. Then nutrient removal to the Aeromod aeration system. That's going to be coming down the pipe from KDHE. They've already talked about it. I think there's a little delay right now, but eventually it's going to happen. Now that's something we've also talked about as part of the grand sewer project. But these, like I said, I asked them to submit kind of their priority needs right now. Water department, Cheyenne Avenue, Street Avenue. Always get it mixed up. Anyway, on Cheyenne, there's asbestos cement pipe that needs to be replaced. It includes 14 services that are connected to it. If I remember right, it's in the 200 block, maybe 200 and 300 blocks. It's 20,000. Iowa Extension, that's extending the water main basically from Cook and Company west towards Walmart. I think that gets, I want to say it gets halfway there. I don't think that's all the way down to we have water at Bestway. I don't think that gets all the way there. And then a directional boring machine. The reason for that request is to be used replacing lead lines. EPA is already said that they're going to start requiring cities to replace a certain percentage of their lead lines every year until they're all done. I was talking to Brad today, asked him how many he thought we had in town. This is from the main to our meter, that portion of it. And he said probably about 800, basically from First Street to 12th Street, from Iowa to Miami is where the huge portion of them are. That's a lot. That's a lot of lines, and it won't have to all be done in the same year, but it's something we're going to have to start doing.
Well, most of that could be worked into phase 2.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, we're just working with phase 1 now. So I think that even in the boring machine, I think you're looking at seeing what it costs to buy one compared to somebody doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
The last he was telling me today, the last time they had a contractor out of Falls City bore under a street to do a service line, it was about $600. So starts adding up.
Well, there's one other question. Being you're talking that boring machine, Dave, if we had a boring machine, is there any way that you could use that in the sewer department?
The one thing about sewer is that it's got to be set on grade because it has to flow a certain direction. This type of machine that they're looking at.
It's
is
not
built
that.
for
Okay, all right, I just had that question. I guess I asked Mike today and I was gonna catch you, so,
Now, they do make machines for it. You're talking a whole lot more money than this.
yeah. Well, let's don't get carried away here.
So that's it for water department. Stormwater, replace inlet boxes. There's 12 of them. I'm trying to remember, Nick, about 8 on First Street. 8 to 10, 8 of them up on First Street, that KDOT's asked. And then storm sewer replacement and installation. This would be 100 block of South Second, 200 block of Kickapoo, and the 300 block of South Third, basically where it wraps around and works its way down to Potawatomi, I believe. Admin, the request is a new website. The current website's outdated and does not meet all the requirements. This would benefit the whole city. Prices vary from $5,500 to $14,300 for design and install, and then yearly fees from $1,800 to $2,250. Code and building, it's a permit code and license management software. It's $10,300 for that. 3,500 setup and 6,800 annual subscription.
Do we have anything
Parks
like
and-
that now, Mike?
What's that?
Do we have any software for that now?
No,
What would this allow us to do? Or how would it work? Or
I'm going to defer to Dave on that one, how the software would be a benefit.
There are a number of companies that provide the software for it. And it's not that we don't know how to do it. It's being able to package it up, working it with the GIS systems that are currently in place. And with that, then expediting, essentially pull up to an address, identify a problem, and be able to photograph it, document it, and by the time you get back to the office, a letter's written, notice is performed, and whether it's gone serviced by a police department or by certified mail. But much of it is, we've already crafted the letters. It packages up the all of the zoning regulations, the code violations, all of those kind of things, and puts it into one package. I do that, and with the help of Tish's office staff, and I don't know how they keep up with it. So it's
so this would
I'm not sure I'm answering the
streamline your
question.
work, and you'd be able to package it and track it better, probably.
And that's the other side of it, is that it we can speculate and have a general feeling about what's going on in different parts of the city, but this will they can input all the old history we can give them, locations and that kind of thing. Obviously there's different owners, so that's not that important, but you're able to get some geographic information about different parts of town, which can be valuable and emphasize more work in those areas. There's the history, all that history information is available, and it probably just speeds up the the process. We're just barely scratching the surface on things that can be done. And some could say, well, there's way too much going on, and others, either leave it alone or spend some more time with it. That I think the time would free up my time to do more things than just administrative tasks. And so I think it would be helpful in that regard. I'm not sure I answered the question.
No, I didn't. So I didn't know what it was about. I'm just asking.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I think streamlining would be the big benefit of it. Parks and Rec, of course, the air conditioners at the Fisher Center. That's one for the loft and two for the Schooneman edition, I think. I remember. And then another was new website. Just kind of said see admin number 1 on that one. They'd all be one and the same. Police department wheelchair ramp getting into the building. I think it's the second portion of the ramp, John, that is crumbling pretty bad. It's
correct. It would be the second, or correction, the first landing.
after the,
Come down.
yeah,
To make the F.
yeah.
There's a little bit on the way down that first part in one of the expansion lines,
Mhm.
but yeah, the landing is getting rough. Also, the railing where it meets into the corner is starting to pull away as well.
Another request is a new vehicle. And then camera system upgrades. And that, I believe, is around your building.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Yep. And then fire department, I apologize. I put SCBA packs, but it's air packs, self-contained breathing apparatus for any of the firefighters to wear when they're going into a structure or whatnot. But that's what those are, two breathing air packs.
Is 2 enough for you, Gene? Or,
Well, just kind of updated a few of the old ones.
okay,
2's is a good start, but
okay. Because those are important.
yeah.
Mm. That's the requests. And just to expand, all but water, sewer, and storm sewer departments, proposed uses would have to be done under what's called lost revenue in the rule. But it's basically where our 2019 revenue multiplied by, I think it was 4 point some odd %. And then if our 2020 revenue was under that, then we can claim lost revenue to put toward, it has a lot more discretion as to what it can be used towards. Stormwater, wastewater, sewer are all part of the final rule as a critical piece that we don't have to claim lost revenue for that. The money can just be spent on that. There are some conditions for police and fire as well. But I did the calculations, and from what I came up with, we'd be able to claim $127,271 as lost revenue. Now, if that's done, it doesn't mean it can't be spent on sewer, water, or stormwater. It just allows expenditures on something like the air conditioners at the Fisher Center or website upgrades or any of that. That's why I put that in there. But that would leave a total of everything we're getting of $348,564 that has to go towards water, sewer, or storm based on this list, or these lists. So, like I said, I took a shot. I put 2 tables in with this. One is just a shot in the dark of how it would look, kind of spreading it out amongst everybody within each year based on the estimated amounts. The other one's just a blank table for for tonight. I mean, to kind of chicken scratch on. But I think everybody but Brad is here if there's questions about any of the requests or.
I was wondering about the police station. Do you still need a new roof?
Well, we're praying for that one, but we haven't really dove into that yet.
Okay,
Yeah, we've got issues, we slowed the water down enough, but we have not stopped.
Well, there's a lot of places put money, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know I've had a couple of complaints about the alley there behind the police department with the drainage issue that we have there too. That's just another idea we need to do something with. I think we spent $1,000 or something to put rock in there, and I don't think it lasts 6 months. So that's another possible avenue. And then we were going to do the bathrooms at the Fisher Center. Would that fall into anywhere that we could get those done?
It could be done under lost revenue. Mhm.
I know that's just something that we had talked about doing, and I think it got pulled at the last second. I don't remember exactly what happened, but those bathrooms are in bad shape.
Can't remember. Did we get that in the budget for next year? It's budgeted for next year.
I couldn't remember if it got pulled or not.
Yeah, no,
They got pulled for 2020.
For this year.
But it'll be done in the,
20,
between January and March.
It'll be done next
Yeah.
year then.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
well, I think I'm more concerned about the air conditioning right now. I mean, we got
Oh,
that other budgeted, so I mean, we can get them air conditioners done for, I mean, they can work on them in the winter time, so we can do them, and I think that's pretty important that, and that's, getting new units in, and it's a one-shot deal, and we don't have to budget it again, I'll tell you that, so. But I still think that, I'm still on the heavy side on the sewer department, and I think the water, as far as the water goes, and some of the other ones, we could put it in the second stage, and actually, I even mentioned this website deal and with Mike, and we can actually budget that. I mean, it's an ongoing deal, and it's gonna have to be budgeted in anyway. But once you purchase it, it's gonna be an ongoing deal. If money be gone, but we still gotta budget it in, so.
So the sewer department obviously has the most. So I'm guessing that you prioritized on what has to get done. You know, the ultraviolet system upgrade is more important than the grit removal system upgrades type thing, or. I mean, because I ought to trust you guys on that one.
Well, I think if you loosen up the engineering reimbursements, then you loosen up funds to help address the other issues. That's why I wanted to use the top number, because if you pay that engineering cost, it'll drop down and it'll almost pay for the ultraviolet system upgrade. And then we don't have to budget it in either. And then you can use these funds for other areas.
So then basically we have to decide if we like what the recommendations are here, or if we want to change some of them, right?
Yeah, and this is kind of an example of how, using it. So, I mean, it's,
It's like in the police department, didn't you at one point have a vehicle budgeted, then you decided to go a different direction?
yes.
We were
Yeah.
looking at vehicle due to employee raises.
Right, that's what I thought.
You know, we decided to move that to 23, didn't we?
Yes, sir, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, it So what do we need to do then? Do we make a motion and say this is the way we want to go, or are we looking at changing some of it?
No, if you get, I think it's, did you have time to research it all and
Well, sorry.
just to browse through it? I mean, maybe,
No,
Oh,
we're not,
so
no,
just-
Ty's not
okay.
a voter.
Oops,
Really,
I'm
it's
sorry.
discussing this and really, I mean, it can be brought back at the next meeting for any formal action. Big thing is, I know they moved the date back to March 31st or April, but we've got to submit a plan, what we plan to do with the funds. We don't want to wait till then, but that's why we're doing this, is so we can start discussing it, looking at it, and develop a plan to submit. Because we have to submit to Treasury of what the plan is. It doesn't have to be exact detail amount, but what are we going to do with the money is what they want to know.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it has to be approved through the feds when,
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. I mean, it has to meet guidelines and be allowable. So yes.
and do they give you the approval first and then give you the money, or?
We
'Cause that's the way it is in
actually,
the school, I
no,
believe.
we already
Oh,
have
it's ours.
half the money. We'll get the other half next summer. But they want to see that we're following the guidelines or the rule.
I think I'm following the guidelines. So. But I mean, it's the first step. I mean, and of course, I got the second step lined up too. But I mean, it's just. But we've got to put the first thing we got to do is the Fisher Center air conditioning has got to be top priority, because that's got to be done. And so, and I haven't changed off of the engineering reimbursement and dropping that down so to another item. And of course, I'm still, sewer system is pretty important to us. I mean, everything's got to go down that line. And so, I mean, and water's important to me too, because I mean, everyone wants to drink and take a shower, so. But I think we can work in two stages and use the money. And as far as I'm concerned, when you fix it, it's just one project done deal, and then we can budget our other money for water, sewer, whatever we want above that, because we're not done spending money yet. So we're gonna have to budget it in, but I just like to see sewer get a little cushion so they got some money to work with. So.
Well, like I said, the big thing for tonight was to present the request, but also have the department heads here if there's questions and whatnot. But as Tish pointed out, we can't take formal action. It's a work session, not an open meeting. So I mean, it might be best kind of study it, think about it, and ask questions. And
But we can't vote anyway.
no, we can put it
So
on
I
the
mean,
agenda
it's no brainer.
for the next meeting. Look at different scenarios. I have the table you're looking at where I have the X's. I have it set up to where you can put an X, in the 2021 or 2022 column. And down at the bottom, it deducts it from the amounts we have for those years. So if you'd like, I can send those out so you can kind of play around with it. Instead of, tabulating with a pen and paper or calculator. It calculates it for you. Like I said, if there's any questions or anything like that, for myself or the department heads, try to answer them all.
I got a question for Dave on the ultraviolet system. I don't remember what you told us sometime back about what kind of shape that's in. Does it work now, or are you on reduced?
We robbed from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah,
We have one series of them running. Keep in mind that everything in that's 18 years old, December 5th. But we do have one series of them running. The other bank is completely dead.
And if we don't have those, then we get fined, right?
If we don't have them in, then the E. coli bacteria it'll eventually creep up, and then it's a process. But we're gonna start getting nasty grams at some point, then there will be an executive order to comply. And then you'll start getting fines. So, plus you're discharging water into the receiving stream that you don't want to. You don't want horses and people downstream drinking it.
And on the Layton lift station generator upgrades, that's just to get a transfer switch that works and enough generator to drive the new pumps. Is that
That's
right?
That's to cover everything. The generator that was in there in 1982 is, Misa just devastated. It does not run.
Yeah.
It does not function. Automatic transfer switch does not run. It quit some years ago. I've been running it manually most of my career here. So it was a Zenith system, and it's time to upgrade it. So, and then keep in mind, that's a budgetary price. We've scattered around. We've looked at some used ones and new transfer switches. So
And you don't have any of that in the next year's budget. Is that right?
we have some listed. So, but
Well, you can use your engineering reimbursement if it's paid this year. You
yeah,
can use that on your ultralight
Yeah.
system. And that just about cover that whole expense.
Yeah.
So that's what I was getting at. is
yeah, the
we
generator's
could
been
get
down.
two
for
things done and then move in and move the funds to another system, which would pay it off and quick. That's where I was going with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the generator's been down for quite some time. So it's time to get it back into position. Where we're gonna be.
I guess
Saving
what
that.
Mike's looking for, you want a checklist on 21, 22 from each commissioner,
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Recommendations
and just give it
for
so
the
everybody's
next
got it
meeting.
straight across the board. And Brian, where you at? You back in
Everything,
town?
me.
I didn't hear him.
Broke up a little bit, Brian.
Everything's sounding pretty good to me.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Are you going to be in town?
It'll be next week.
Okay.
Good. Well, we won't have a meeting then.
No, the next meeting
The
is
next- I will be.
Well, you'll be in town and where you can come by City Hall, get a punch list so you can
Yep.
give an opinion.
Yep.
All right. With me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Okay,
All right.
I think, I guess that's what we need. Get a punch list from everybody, review it and then run the percentages and bring it back to next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll send this out tomorrow. You can play around with it. All right.
Well, I know where Dave's at. He wants all his stuff. And Nick like to have his all done too, so. But, I want to appreciate Nick for getting all them holes patched, so. And it made my dentist happy. He had his hands in my mouth today where I couldn't talk, but
All right. Okay.
if we go watch Chiefs play, what time they start?
7:20. Kickoff. Kickoff 7:20. See what?
You let him know. I'm shutting
Oh.
the meeting down.
Oh, I think we're all done, Brian.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.